Hello, Diamanturi. Do you hear me better now? I guess I changed something settings. Okay. What's going on here? Why I don't see? Okay, this is the game. What is the score? What is the score between Fedosev and Firuza? Anybody knows? 8-6 for Fedosev. Okay. Let me put some music here. Put some 100%. Okay, now I put 100%. Hope it's better. Some.
What you gonna tell your dad? It's like a wheel of fortune. What you gonna tell your dad? It's like a wheel
Is it better now?
of fortune.
Can I
What you
increase
gonna tell your
volume?
dad if this wheel lets you down? My love is my engine, and you might be fuel. Stop acting cool. Just bet you might win. I'm not too cool. We're gonna make your move.
Now? It decreased. I don't want to decrease more because then I will not hear anything. What's the point? I put it for myself, first of all. What I have to do in OBS, I don't understand. Like this? I decrease desktop audio in OBS. So now you hear me, yes? And music too or not? Oof. And now? Perfect. a song finished while we was fixing the volume. Cool. Watch some. Okay, this is not so interesting. Like, this is much more interesting stuff here. In F2. He's too young for that yet. But potentially, probably yes. See. B1 before bishop e3. Queen c2. Ah, sick. I forget about this rook. Oh my, rook on h3. Less than 2600. Terrible. Again, bad microphone or what? Or because of music? Okay, I just don't touch anything. I don't care about anything. I just continue. I don't care. I fed up with this shit. The point that I hear music, it's enough already. What the hell? Just delete all audio filters. Okay, I will do it. And then maybe it will be worse. But okay. Okay, now when music stopped, do you hear me or not? Better. Maybe it's because of music. Before I delete everything, tell me it's better or not. And I also microphone is 100% now. So again, bad sound or what? I don't understand. Not question of music. My sound is okay. My volume. My. You hear my talk because Ruches tell me right that it's not smooth. I have some issues again. So I don't understand what to do. And when I start music, it became worse or what? I put OBS desktop audio about 20%. Should I increase it or what? To 30, 40? And also in OBS I have on 100% volume of microphone, and also here is 100%. I don't know, maybe it's too much. All right. Should I delete everything? I don't put music. You hear music from OBS desktop studio. From there you hear. I don't play music now. So can you finalize? You hear me okay or not? Like before, 2 days ago, when everything was perfect. Then something was changed. Shall I change something or it's okay now? Yeah, it's very good, so I don't need to change, right? Alright, so I will start some music and don't tell me that you don't hear me or something, I don't care. I will put it to listen. Okay, when I put music, I will not talk then. I will just solve puzzles. Right, let me choose. Very hard to choose. Lots of put some Enrique. Little puzzle time and then Fischer. Buonasera again. Oh, fuck. All right. Okay, if it's everything okay, I'm glad finally. We finally reach impossible. We did impossible stuff. Of course I will say. Oh, fuck it, I mean. Yeah, I choose a wrong moment for puzzles, definitely. Definitely wrong moment for puzzles. Robert Jobava.
Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home. When you call my name, it's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your heart, just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there. I hear your voice. It's like an angel sighing. I have no choice. I hear your voice. Feels like flying. I close my eyes. Oh God, I think I'm falling out of the sky. I close my eyes. Heaven help me when you call my name. It's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power, just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there, like a child. You whisper softly to me. You're in control, just like a child. Now I'm dancing. It's like a dream. No end and no beginning. You're here with me. It's like a dream. Let the choir sing when you call my name. It's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power, just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there. When you call my name, it's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there. In the midnight hour, I can feel your power, just like a prayer.
Cheesecake, thank you. Cheesecake killer.
Just like a prayer, your voice can take me there. Just like the news to me, you are a mystery. Just like a dream, you are not what you seem. Just like a prayer, no choice, your voice can take me there. I'll take you there. It's like a dream to me.
Hello. It's like, why so serious, yeah? So this or this? Afraid. 5. Check. Oh my, how many mistakes, I mean. I'm absolutely not focused. I mean, I just make so much mistake. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mistakes. Are you kidding? 5 mistakes I usually make in 5 weeks. What is this? We need some good music now. This shitty music, I cannot do anything. Second. Let's put good old Dr. Alban. Okay, it's time to come back now to... Let's make 2600 without mistake now. Do here. King e7, bishop f8, rook f8. King e5, king d8, queen d5, he just goes queen d6. No, that's not solution. Maybe simply bishop h6 with idea queen h8, bishop g5. How he defend this? Okay, let's go. Oh, sick. What he wants. Ah, bishop c5, sick. It's my... Today I'm not my day. Definitely not my day. What he wants from me? This or what? This? Ah, I forgot that this B file is open, I mean. If I rook B2. I just don't see, I physically don't see this move. Pick. 2478, are you kidding me or what? This is just incredible, I mean, this... Just incredible. I have to make mistake every move, every fucking... Okay, let's make 2500. Incredible. Today I started with 2700, now I have to reach 2500. Okay, and then we go to Fischer Games. So it was wrong timing to make this.
Your chance for paradise. I'm looking in your eyes. Might be mine tonight.
Just bishop f4? This is just analyze or what? What kind of tactic this is? We're just analyzing position or what? Lot of choice. E-sport, yeah, very interesting direction, of course. Beat it. League of Legends I would play with big pleasure, and also PUBG. Believe me, when there are millions of prize fund, it's not only kids who are playing, believe me. You want to say that only kids maybe can play it. Oh no, no, what I'm doing now, I'm just relaxed. No. I would be an ice hockey professional player, if not chess player. Yeah. Before what? Before bishop e7, bishop c7, I guess. And G Capital is here, a great player. But I like Pavel Datsuk. I guess Pavel Datsuk is one of the best players ever. Russian magic man. e1, f5, knight g5, knight f2. What is this? I used to play poker very active, but it's very primitive game. So boring. Or it's boring or it's too stressful, so I just quit it. I'm doing before first, idiot. Take this bitch. In poker, in the end, everybody lost money. Only maybe top 10. Top 10 maybe in the world there in plus. Question of time. When to lose? Whom to lose? Okay, no more music. Enough music. Enough. Make a little bit more, and probably I will go for Fischer. Sons of Fischer. Thank you for following, by the way. Now I think you hear me better, bro. Which of me? I have to take. Ah, okay. Today, okay. I'll just stop it. Just cannot. I just cannot do anything. What he wants, I mean, bishop d5 or what? What the hell? Not queen b7, not bishop d4. What else left here? Queen e4 or what? Queen e4. Incredible. Ah, I forget about knight c2 completely. To promote. Where put this king? I want to put. Okay, rook. Pawn. £15. X. Something like king 2 is either queen g4, queen. Why ef? Oh. Put it or it. I guess both. Have to do everything all together. Bishop e6, queen b2 check, and he takes my queen on each. 96 b2 he played. Yeah, we need to give probably check. 96 b2. We cannot go king f3 fork. King, king, king. Where I have to? One. Second. B. Take. Catch it. Sounds like. No, no. Why not queen d7? Why not queen d7? What's wrong with queen d7? What he wants? Ah, queen d7 just takes, and this is so stupid. Knight b6 was solution. Yeah, queen d7. Same idea. I did it incorrectly. Yeah, I just forget that queen b8 just sick. Idea was correct, but I just did it incorrectly. Hmm. Bad with b6. Okay, let's make 2450. I mean, incredible. 2450. I need to. From 2700. What the hell I did today? What the hell happened to me? What the hell happened? D7 he promotes. Knight f6. Okay, enough. Enough. Enough is enough. Start. Other call. We switch to real deal now. So do you hear me better? Not. What is score Fedosev Perugia? Anybody knows? Can you guys check the score, please? What do you mean King Gambit? It's Fischer Games. I'll just continue his book. Last game, what we seen, it was very 12, 12 and a half, 11 and a half is last game running. Really? Oh, okay. Let me start it. One plus one or how it is? You want to say that it's going to be, if it's gonna be draws, then will be tie break, yeah? Bishop 8, knight c2. Yeah, he opened first. 7 now. Fedo is winning much. Maybe not. 3 pawns are very dangerous. So mating nets coming. What a tension. What a tension. So much luck for me. The white is winning, incredible. Crazy. So it's 12 and a half, 12 and a half, right? Crazy. Crazy. Ahmed, thank you for follow. Overtime. And what's going on in overtime? What they have to do? They play one game or again so much? Anybody knows the rules? What a tough match. 12 incredible. Some bullets now. Bullets in bullets. Was that? It will take some time, definitely, because they will start to play. So let's move to game between Reshevsky versus Fischer from the match. The one will be 11th game. Angeles. Guys, ah, overtime started. Okay, let me see it then. This is where is it? What's going on here? And what is go? How many games they have to play? It will be 1+1, right? 1+1 control. Fedosey wants to deliver mate on H file, right? Who gets 2.5 first, okay? Oppa, pawn. Interesting. Tactics begin now. D6 maybe? Ah, 4 games, okay. It was situation like Fedosey was winning +2, right? 12.5 on 10.5, and both games he was winning and he lost both games. Incredible. Psychologically for him, it's of course very hard will be now. Interesting. The save has more time according to leeches. I don't know how trust it or some lagging. King e5, rook d3. Maybe. Ah, no, it's not. Draw. Position is draw. Rook g5, and rook goes back. Ah, why he give king pawn? Okay, dead draw. They agreed draw. Next game. Alireza is white. Yes. I have a huge lag, yes? Probably, yeah. What's going on? Why is it not moving? Good. What's going on in this? Bishop take. Knight d5, he wants to take queen. Oh. E3 is classy move. Double rooks on c2. Take on g7, rook fc1. He goes king g7, knight d6. d3, I guess he will play. Bishop goes to e8 or d7. One. Also double rooks too. I would go to endgame with knight e4 here. Knight e4, queen d2. Yeah, same idea, but knight e4 was better. Exchange everything, bring king. Okay, it should be draw. Illusion not allows even. Five. I have feelings that this game may be over already, but I'm still watching here. ED and knight b5. Only black risky to win this game. Before now. Let us have one. Have one. Yeah. If he win this game, match is over. Why Zava? was I know too quickly half the game, yeah. It would be funny if you make bets, yeah? You can bet against me something, yeah? This game probably Firuza won. The blunder pawn on e4. Terrible blunder. Rook d3 is coming. h3. Bet. d5. Also quite hopeless. d5. Hmm. Crazy. How it's winning. Game. So score is against equal. Very complex position. Was bad move. Queen f2 is a threat. Bishop b3. But Fedoshev has better position, so time. Collect all pawns. Totally winning. Freeze red. Yeah. A game +1. Where is more game? Why it's not starting? 30. Or it was last game or what? It was last game or? Ah, match over already. I don't understand when it's over. On this 29 game or was played more? Pedos 1, 2.5, and 1.5. Okay. I don't understand. How is this? So 25. This 6. What happened on 6? It was draw. Yeah, 1.5. Fedo save. Here is yes, and 2.5. Okay, game is over. Match is over. Yeah. Good job. So it was decisive game, as I understood. Yeah. This one. He blundered everything. Good job, Fedos. All right. Finish this. Are you really in mood to see some Fischer games or not anymore? Yeah, this 11 game was drawn and it was last in the match. And Reshevsky managed to hold this game. So let's see what happened here. C4 started by Reshevsky in this game. Knight f6 was played. d4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, castle, and bishop e2. We know that in this position, d6 is more precise play. d6, knight f3, e5, castle. e5 and then bishop g5 is like Petrosian system. Castle, then knight c6 is the main line in this position. That's actually what happened here. Knight c6 by Fischer. It was 5-5 in this moment in match situation in match, and this game will be drawn. And d5 played by Chevsky here. All in New Jersey. Hello, by the way. You mean e5 here? It's double-edged because knight goes back and then we can blow up this center. e6, sometimes c5. But the castle is a little bit, you know, there's a bishop g5, this f4 idea. Maybe more annoying. Okay, e5, knight c6, d5 was played here. In the game of number 9 in this match, Reshevsky played bishop e3 against him here. After rook e8, d. The point that after d5, black has this knight d4 move. Knight d4, then recapture here. de, de, queen d8, knight d8, knight b5. 7 is a threat, so knight e6, knight g5 with either take and take here, and rook e7. This equal position according to Fischer. That's why this time Reshevsky plays more principal move, d5, knight e7, knight e1. Okay, here we know it's very complex position with lot of ideas. Even b4 is possible directly. That a5, bishop a3, take, that is c5, and so on. Lots of ideas. Knight d2 is also option here, but knight e1 another plan. Put it here, support c5, and if necessary after f5 we have f3. Knight d7, obviously with idea to play f5. Knight d3, f5, ef was taken by Reshevsky. Fischer said that black will have a strong attack in case of f3, then f4, traditionally g5, h5, rook can be transferred here, or knight f6, knight g6, and push the pawns. But Reshevsky takes on f5. And now stronger was to take gf in this position, obviously. But Fischer takes on f5. His idea put it on d4. Codex Edo, hello, how are you doing, man? e5, it's against ideas like knight f6, f3, f4. So maybe Reshevsky wanted to play f4 here, I guess. After e4, put it here, then bishop e3, and block position, I guess. This was his idea. But Fischer played inaccuracy, knight f5. He will get this square, but this square is more important, this white square here. f3. Good night, Ruches. Thank you for coming. Now I don't have any problems with sound, I guess. I hope so. Have a nice dreams. f3 was played by Reshevsky, fixing this weak square. And knight d4 was played here. It was also possible knight f6. Very audible. Very audible? What does it mean? Like you hear well, or what do you mean? Knight d4 played, knight e4, and h6 by Fischer. Probably he wants to control this square. And also, yeah, the idea was to play bishop g5, then c5. And now, because of c5, probably he will take twice, and then it's on d5 here. You hear you well? Okay. No, 1 second. What I'm talking about. He played b6, of course. b6, I just thought it was h7, h6, but it's b7, b6. He stopped this and also wants to play c5. Okay, it's the last one, understood. And now bishop g5, he played bad move here. It looks like white winning temp, but actually this queen will be not bad on e8, maybe even better. So queen e8. It was here precise to play bishop d2 or rook e1 directly. So bishop d5, queen e8, bishop d2 he played. So white wants to play b4 and don't allow it a5 after that. That was his idea. a5 by Fischer, yeah? He not allows b4 here. Okay, so a3, probably he wants to play a4, fix this square. Rook e1 was played here. Yeah, we see that if white wants to play this b4, they need to play first b3, then a3. That's why rook e1 first he play. He probably wants to play bishop f1, keep this bishop on the board. That's why Fischer immediately exchanged this important bishop which controls these light squares. Queen takes e2, h6, and we will see that later why bishop g5 was not good, because Fischer wants to play g5 and put this queen on this very nice place on g6, which is attacking here and also supporting g4 in future. b3, g5, a3, queen g6 was played. Now black has some initiative on king side, yes, and play this and push g4 here. And b4 finally he played, knight f6, and ba bad move according to Fischer. It was better to control this square with knight df2, and on that he wanted to play knight h5 without the knight f4 here, and then h5 g4. In case of g3, this square would be weak. Probably he would develop pieces and attack this square, but white also have the chances here. So still knight df2 was better. He played ba, and I assume knight e4 was, yeah, or g4. Probably Reshevsky was count only ba, knight df2, knight h5, and c5. This was his idea. He wanted to distract this pawn to a5, but instead Fischer plays g4, instantly attacking on the king side. Now f4 would be a mistake. We take then bishop f5 and winning this knight. So he opened these files here. And now he played knight df2. In case of ab, bad move, there would be gf, queen f3, because there is a pin. After queen f3, knight e4 with tempo. Bishop f5, and then we take this knight. Play with piece up. Also, knight f6 would be quite unpleasant position after bishop f6, f4, and bishop f5, attacking this knight here. Why Reshevsky decided to support his main point here. gf, queen f3, knight h5. He played with tempo. Even put more pressure on the king side. It was more easy to play for white after knight d5, attacking queen, because of queen g3, and then exchange queens. Pawns are equal, then ab is coming. Knight h5. Queen goes to e3. And ba. Finally, he takes this pawn. And rook a c1 was played here by Reshevsky. So he wants to begin active assault on the queen side here, following with c5. He also didn't want to make weaknesses on the king side. For example, g3, then will be knight f4. h1, then knight h3, and light squares are so weak. Yeah, and here, yes, even if he exchanges, then bishop can penetrate here. Why he played rook c1. After rook e1, knight f4 is not good because of queen g3. Fischer simply developed a bishop here. Да, я видел, Иванов. Bishop f5, c5. Bravo, Fedos. Yeah, I will write him on Facebook on Congrats later. So, e5. This leads to material losses, but probably this was the best chance here. In case of g3, there would be rook f7, rook a f8 here. And then very, very big pressure over f5. It takes, and rook f3 and so on. c5 was played. Knight goes to f4, attacking this pawn. Queen g3. And this was blunder of exchange here. But still, g3 was bad because of knight d5. We see that knight attacks the queen. In case of queen b3, we play probably queen e6 and protect, or maybe even bishop e6. These bishops became so strong here. But he played queen g3. Probably when he played c5, he had this move in mind. And what happened here? He blundered this move. Bishop e4 in this position. And now he played bad move rook e4 here. And the best chances to survive here was knight e4. In case of bishop f4, there would be simply ef. And black is piece up because this attacked after queen g6, we take with bishop. And knight e4 would be the best move. F, queen g3, hg, knight d3, then take here and penetrate with rook here. Knight e1, bishop e1. So this was probably the best practical chance for Reshevsky to survive here. Bishop a little bit passive. Also, this pawn attacked. This pawn falls down. Knight is strong. White has some chances here, definitely. Instead, he played rook e4, bad move, and queen e4. This he blundered completely. Knight e2. So knight e4 only move. Check on e2. King h1. Take. We see that to comparison to the previous variation, black has a million tempos here. Instead of cd, rook c6, he has this king on h1 here. Rook a6 protecting the pawn. cd, cd, and a4. Yeah, so Larry Evans was saying that black won exchange, but black has to cross a huge technical problems here. Pawns are weak, rook is stacked, but he thinks that black anyway should win this game. Rook f7. Probably Fischer wants to put bishop here, protect this and unpin this rook. Also have always idea to penetrate on queen side. d4 by Reshevsky. Sometimes maybe this knight can jump on f5. Also fixing this pawn, not allow h5 here. Bishop f8. King h2 to activate king. King h7. Rook c8. In this rook to defend bishop. Rook b6. Idea to exchange these pawns and this rook became active. For example, bishop a5. He would play rook a6 and rook a4 with tempo here. Definitely Reshevsky not playing it. He plays rook a8. Yeah, Paul in New Jersey, exactly. But exchange is exchange, so white has to play for draw. Rook b3 here. And bishop a5. Finally, he takes this pawn. And now he made mistake. He found good ideas that he has to kick out this knight from this dominant square, but he chose a wrong rook. He should play rook e3 here. Because after knight d3, he has rook d3 and eliminate this very important pawn here. In case of knight c3, which looks only move to protect it, then he would play e4. The plan is bishop g7, bishop e5 and start to attack on the king. And in case of rook e8, bishop g7. Now rook e4, we will simply take on e3. And after knight e4, this important check. And he has to sacrifice, but this is not enough compensation, obviously. Probably this is, in this moment, he missed a good chances to win after rook e3, e4. Instead, he played rook f4, and we will see what happens now. And here, Reshevsky played a very strong move, bishop c7. Look at this move. Reshevsky demonstrates a tight defense, Fischer says. He also adds that it still remains losing position, but complicates matters here. So pawn is attacked, rook e4. We take, rook takes on f8, and this bishop attacks this important pawn. Rook goes to d3 to eliminate this potential strong pawn. Rook f6. Rook g4. We take here. Why not rook d5 directly? Can anybody tell me why not directly rook d5? He take here for some reason. He wanted to probably play rook d2. After rook d5, maybe he did not want to allow this move, and he was not sure that if it's winning or not. Maybe it's not, actually. Maybe it is. G6, because if we exchange these pawns to this, it might be not winning. In G6, we need to keep this pawn. We push this, f6. After a6, rook a4. Rook f8, rook a4, h6, we take. It should be, somehow should be winning, I guess. Jersey, you're wondering why not rook a4 here? Rook a4. You would give this important pawn here. Then check and also take here. If e4, yes, counterplay maybe with this. Also bishop d6 is the idea, and bishop f8 take this pawn. Okay, here was a lot of stuff. He played rook g4, probably with idea rook d2, but the point that after rook d6 move, for some reason he played bad move rook g7 here. And he complicated very much his position. And correct move was rook d2 as he planned it. Yeah, but now we attack the king. Two rooks are very good attackers. And after rook d7 check, king g6. White has to take bishop e5 to protect his king. And after rook 4 g2, king h3, rook e5. Black is winning here. According to Fischer, very easily, he said. Bishop c7 would be probably the only choice here. So we can even exchange. We can exchange. And after e5, we put it on e5, then e6 we cannot move, so bishop b6, then we give check, stand here and slowly go up and then push this pawn and win. Yeah. So he need to sacrifice this pawn, and theoretically it's winning position. But instead of active play, he decided to defend this 7th rank and attack this bishop. And what happened after this? What do you think? I'll give you 2 minutes. What Reshevsky played here? Only move. Thank you for following. Thank you guys for follow. You have to ask what black wants and what to do here. if we play with bishop, we are losing. For example, if bishop a5 we play, not allow rook d2, then rook d3, and we win this pawn and win the game. Win these pawns and check. We give, for example, rook e6, we check. Then we can give check. Then we play rook g4. Is that a mate? Also, this is goes down. If we play in this position bishop b6, then rook d2, and this is false. That's why rook c6 strong move here. Rook c6 only move. Yeah. Yeah, I'm Gustav. Hello, man. How are you doing? Bishop a5 was bad. I just shoved because of rook g3. So for white, it's very important to eliminate this pawn and somehow keep this or this alive. So rook c6 only move here. Rook d5 he played. The point was that rook d2 would lead to the draw. Bishop e5 in this position. Rook g2, because rook dg2 is king h3, no more check, and then this will go. Rook gg2, king h3, obviously. Rook g5, yeah, we cannot take because queen, bishop, not bishop, rook on the attack. So rook g5 attacking bishop, wants to take here. Bishop f4 would be a strong move. Both rooks on the attack. Rook d3 check. King h2. King h4 is a bad move because rook d4 and black is winning. Here's a pin. After rook f6, we simply bite this rook with king and doesn't have moves. We take this bishop. So only move, but enough. King h2. Rook h5, because we cannot take here, do with rook h6, so we need to give check and same time protect. But king g2 now it's more active than last file. Rook dd5, and after rook dd5 it will be just perpetual here. Check, king g6, then check, and black cannot go with king because this falls, and we cannot. It just goes rook c1, rook c7, rook c6. That's why after rook c6 matters complicated here situation. So rook d5 only move. We need to keep this pawn alive, and after this rook c2 strong move, and Fischer says that he completely missed this move. So probably he wants to play a5, then bishop b6, then rook behind and push this pawn and have decent counterplay. Rook protects this pawn very nicely. e4 was played. He says that he was desperately wanted to win this game, and he tries last try. He makes last try here. a5. Rook d3. In case of e3, with either rook d2 here, there would be bishop f4, very strong move. Like here, and also stop rook d2. And after rook e7, rook e2 is a draw. This is a draw because after rook d3, we will distract with this pawn one of the rook to take it, and then we take this, and this will be draw. This is drawish position with king, pawn, and bishop versus rook. And that's why he played in this position rook d3 first. He wants probably put it behind the pawn. Bishop goes f4. Hello, gaming on terrible PC. Hi. We are doing perfect. Hope you too. Bishop f4 he played because to control this diagonal. Also, he wants to play rook a2, and now we cannot because this is under attack. Bishop f4 and same time attacking this. One move, but so much ideas here. Rook f7, Fischer attacks the bishop. d3, this is very important point here. e3, what else? White, black has to do something. We push this pawn forward. Rook goes to e1. And he says that Reshevsky was in very strong Zeitnot here, and he did not. He completely missed that he could play king g2 here, which gives easy draw because rook d2 not possible. We take and bishop d2. And in case of rook f4, maybe he had a hallucination about rook f4. He forget that can give check first because gf loses after rook d2. But this intermediate check and then gf, and we stop this pawn. Yeah, king g2 was easy draw. Then we go up to f3 and eliminate this pawn. But instead he played rook c1. He wants to put it probably here, avoid rook d2 idea. For example, rook e2 was losing because of rook f4 and rook d2 here. Rook g2, then e2 and e1. That's why he played rook c1. He wants to stop from here. Rook f e7, supporting pawn. Now threat e2 and rook d1 here. And after that, he played rook e1, obviously, and he needs only to bring this king here. Okay, Lubomir Lubovich. I know him personally, by the way. I guess he's a polyglot. He knows a lot of languages, if I remember well. Like a Hubner. Hubner knew a lot of languages. He knows, I mean. Rin Rodriguez. Hola. I guess I can tell you hola. So rook e1, rook a3. So Fischer wants to eliminate this pawn. Rook e2 controls second rank. King g6, king g2. Once he goes here and eats it, will be draw. For example, bishop d6 was losing here because of rook d7 all suddenly. And after we take, then rook d2. And this promotes, according to Fischer. But I guess he made a huge blunder here. It's not winning. It's not winning because we play this move, of course. It's actually an easy draw. It was easy draw. Much easier than king g2. Look at this, what he blundered. Bishop d6. This, rook b2. And after e2, I guess bishop b4, just dead draw. It's actually black has to be careful here. Because e1 we have to play and then we just take it. White has zero chances to lose this game. Even if I would just put it here and rook goes here, just make fortress. Also, I have this pawn. Okay, I mean, it's draw, of course, but zero chances, just zero chances to lost. So he could make easy draw, yeah. Instead of king g2, bishop d6, immediately draw. So king g6 was bad move, probably, but it's no chance to win. Yeah, he had to play rook e6, but then this comes. Instead, he played king g2. Do you know any good resources on fortress and other defensive concepts? What do you mean? Here in this position or in general, or what you're asking? There is a lot of fortress positions in different endgames, of course. Queen versus rook, for example, million fortresses. His 70th birthday was 2 days ago. Whose 70th birthday? Lubovich, you mean? About books, I cannot say right now, sorry. Maybe you can find Auerbach books about endgames, then there you will find fortresses too, I guess. If you study, for example, queen versus rook, let's say. You're welcome. Wounds blazing. Hello, Polysky, how are you doing? My trainer gave me fashion games to study and learn ideas. How should I study them to learn? I assume as he advised it, you study like he advised. I don't want to make conflict with his advices with my advices. So if you have questions, just listen to him. Okay, so king g2. Instead, bishop d6 immediately was draw, as we seen. So king g2, rook a5. You are welcome. So rook e3 was played by white here. And he says that bishop e3 was even more simple because black cannot use this pin anyhow. But he played rook e3. And after that, rook a2 check in this position. And Now he played king f3, bad move in this situation. And he says this was comedy of mistakes here. Right decision was king h3. Because very important in this endgame, when we exchange the rooks, not allow this king goes to g4. If we allow king goes g4, then it probably will be winning, because then we will kick out this king with checks or two zwangs from this position and penetrate further, and then will be very, very hard to defend. And after king h3, for example, if we take and play h5 to free this king from defense of h6, then bishop f4, rook a1, bishop e7, king f5, bishop f4. h4 leads nowhere, yeah, because we don't take here because of this or mate. We just move this bishop somewhere and then exchange pawns. By rook b1, bishop c7, strong move. All important to put it here. Look, it's very tricky position, because if we play king g2, that's what black wants. If we play bishop d6, then it will be check. This rook goes here with the tempo. That's why bishop c7, strong move. Yeah, because in case of rook h1, king b2, rook b1, there is a tempo, and king goes back here. That's a tricky position. Yeah, and it would be a draw. But instead, he played a very interesting position. From out of nothing, you can lost here. King f3. And now he pays him back. Rook b7, bad move. Larry Evans, after he showed variation in some magazine, rook e3 check, bishop e3, and then h5 here, with following king f5. And he said, Fischer writes that he was so disappointed of his play before that he could not think about that he can win this. But he says that later, after the game, later days, he found study kind of variations here. Look what's going on. d4 is simply bad move because of h4, and then we pin and then push it. In case of king e4 here, king f6, strong move. They want to give check and not allow king e5, which makes opposition to this. So king f6 to control this square, then give check and then penetrate to this square. In case of check on d4, king e6, then king f4, rook a4, pin, king e3, and then king f5. Then this penetrates. In case of king e4, then rook b4 again. Doesn't matter, it's zugzwang. In case of king f4 here, rook a5 would be a strong move, this position. Bishop d2, and then rook f5 to cut off this king from this file. King e4, and now king f6, strong move. And black king slowly penetrates to this square. For example, king e3 is simply bad move because we go directly. If you go bishop e3 or bishop f4, let's say, then we play rook a5, and then we give check and penetrate to a5. If you would play here bishop f4, king f5, and bishop d6, not allow this check. Rook b2, this position. Bishop f4, rook b3 check. King goes to g2, king g4 with idea rook b2 and penetrate further. Also h4 now is a threat because this hangs. Bishop d6, rook b2 check. King g1, king h3. Bishop e5, rook b4, strong move. And bishop c7, bishop f4, again mistake because of h4. So bishop goes to c7, rook g4, strong move. Again h4 is a threat. we see that king h1 is not possible because of rook c4. So king f2 is only move, and king get to this square. Bishop e5 goes further because if we move rook, it will be check on g4 here. And king h1. After king f3, rook goes down to give check here and kick out from this file white king. And after bishop f4, rook f8, pin and zugzwang. King f2, because king e3, king g2. So king f2, king still tries to control this. And now h4. King f3. Gh, unfortunately for white, is losing because we give check. And now we don't go, of course, down. We go, yeah, any square on this rank, and we just come with king from next cycle, come here because h5. You cannot move h6 because rook a6, and then we stop it like this. This is well-known situation when king cut on short rank and game is over. That's why after h4, king f3 is only moved, then h3. Hello, chess medic. And after h3, king f2, h2. King f1, not allowed to get out, rook a8. King f2, rook a2 check. King f1, only move. Rook a3, strong move here. King f2, what else? Otherwise check on f3 and king g2. After king f2, anyway, rook f3, beautiful check. King f3, king g1, bishop e3, king f1, and we promote. These chances he missed. Hi friend, I'm back. Hello, the puts. Come back. Yeah, this was a brilliant end game. But instead, he was so confused, disappointed of his previous plays that he, after king f3, he just go. We see that in this position, let's go back. In this position, when rook e2, he made a big mistake. He should play rook e6, but Reshevsky being inside not give him payback. Yeah, king g2 bad move. Instead, bishop d6, and Fischer was saying that this position is winning for black, but it's draw actually, because after rook d7, no matter, rook d3 is the same. We take here rook d2, and he finished the variation here, but instead rook g2 is just, we make the draw. And after e2, we play this important move here, controlled here. After e1, bishop d2 is just dead draw situation here. No possible to win. But he gives these chances here with this play. And now he should play king h3 to control this square all the time. But king f3, and now he missed chances to win here with rook e3. Instead, he plays rook b7, bad move here. And after rook b7, he gives check on e6. So of course, king goes to f5. Now we don't take because of mate, but rook e5. King goes to f6. Rook goes to d5. Rook b3. Now go king g4 and draw. Yeah, this was a cool game. Very instructive game, beginning till the end. The match score was 5.5, 5.5 in the end, and then they just stopped to play it because of Fischer demanding some things which he was declined, and as a protest he stopped. Let's see another game against very strong Soviet Union grandmaster Geller in Bled 1961. Let me thank you for follow. Sure. Right. Geller. Geller. Let. One. Gaming on table PC, we already look at it in my first stream, first part of Bobby Fischer. You can find it on YouTube. So e4 was played by Fischer. E5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, d6, castle. He said in that time this move was considering worse than bishop c6 or c3 here. Because after castle, Black has this bishop g4. That's why in that time it was either like worse than bishop 6 or c3. This is very aggressive setup by Black. But also queen side will be a little bit weaker. h3, strong move. He need to push away this bishop from here. Otherwise, Black wants to play queen f6 and then take here. So bishop h5. After this game, there was some fashion about h5 move here. And after h5, he wanted to play d4, b5, then bishop b3. Knight d4. Maybe it's better to play queen f6. After knight d4, bad move, hg, hg, and knight g5. This position. He gives some theoretical recommendations here, but we skip it. We go to game. So bishop h5 played by Geller. Now he played c3. Queen f6, bad move. And he said that Geller looked very satisfied here in this position. But much more safe continuation was knight f6, d4, knight d7. Try to support the central pawn here. Yes, hello. How are you doing? But he played queen f6. And of course, Fischer not allows bishop f3. He played g4. That's why he played h3. This was his idea. Fischer said that he was understanding that this is a quite dangerous weakness of king side. But he had feelings that he need to use that Black is far behind of development. And also his bishop is out of game here and queen under tempos after d3, bishop g5 or d4, bishop g5. Me too, thank you, man. And then let's see how game continued after d4 here. This was the principal by played g4. He wanted to play d4. We see that he wants to play bishop g5 and d5. Bishop e4, and what else? Black doesn't have better option. After bishop e4, Geller still was he looked very like glad of play. Knight d2, attacking the bishop. Bishop g6 was played here. It was not better to take on f3, knight f3, e4 in this position because of rook e1 in. And after d5, then bishop g5 here. Queen e6 leads to c4, and we will blow up this center. Or queen g6, then queen b6, strong move. Attacking here, attacking here. And after queen b3, b5 is the move. Because long castle not possible to have bishop. And after b5, he wanted to play queen d5, sacrifice this bishop here. And knight e5, strong move. Using that knight e5 leads to queen e8. So queen e6 is the option. And after queen e6, he takes on e6 and takes on c6, and look at these pawns. Position is simply lost. And case of queen d6 here probably is the best move. He wanted to play e4, strong move, dc, because f6 is bad because of cd, queen d5, and bishop b3. Kick away this queen and then take here. And after dc, d5. Yeah, look at this attack. This is from two sides are attacking. d5 only move, dc, da, then rook e4 check, knight e7, then bishop e7, queen e2. Then next move rook e1, white is winning here. No chance to survive. For example, yes, and rook e1, bishop goes, the rook e8. Otherwise, rook e8. Double pin. Maybe even better to play rook d1 first. Of course, go here, then even rook e5. Actually, we're winning the piece. Yeah, a3, and then take the bishop. Yes, around 2 a.m. in Georgia. Yes, that's why Keller goes back. Now he takes bishop c6, completely destroy position on side. Thank you, Kaz. Appreciate, man, for donation of $10. Look at this move, bishop 6. Use that queen and bishop on the king side and nothing to protect queen side here. Does it make a difference if white plays rook e4 before playing d5? You mean which position? I understand now. Which position? This, maybe here you mean, instead of d5, rook e4 probably. Yeah, as I understood. In the game, it's different position. Yeah, maybe rook e4 is also enough. Yeah, and then d5. This is just variation, so we will not spend too much attention. We don't need this theoretical researches here. We just enjoy the process of the game here. Let's go to the game, guys. Demi Godzilla, hello, how are you doing? Human. Yeah, this bishop is so strong. That's why he played bishop g6. Bishop don't say anything about this move, by the way. Looks very interesting. Just played with tempo. Probably he would play rook e1 here. Still, bishop d3 deserves the attention. Then bishop b5 maybe. I don't know. Maybe first take. Maybe we can take here and then play rook e1, and again disasters here. But okay, bishop g6. We see the black is wasting so much time. Yeah, they play only queen and bishop. So Fischer take on d6, take, and de. And he said that in a few weeks later, he suddenly understood that queen a4. This move was leading to victory. And in case of knight e7, then we take on e5 and play rook e1, tagging this pawn. If he takes black's position, is totally lost. So e4 and knight e4. Queen f3, what else? Bishop e4, just simply queen e4. Queen f3 he has to take, and queen c6, look at this check. Knight c6 only moves, and double check delivers this beautiful mate here. Look at this variation. And he says that he was swearing at himself that he didn't play queen a4 here and win such a beautiful way. But then he found that after queen a4, there was not knight e7, but very strong move king d7 all suddenly. Look at this move. And after de, knight e4, then bishop d6 here. And white, according to, cannot immediately use a weak position of this king. For example, knight a5, probably knight e7. This also under attack. Yeah, it looks dangerous, but if to believe Fischer, white cannot use it instantly. I mean, rook d1, very very strong move here. And what to play here? Cannot take because of fork. Maybe rook e8. Then, yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's not fix our attention too much on this again. So let's see what happens in DE. Knight e5 he take. Also quite enough. Now, Geller played bishop d6. Obviously, he cannot take because rook e1 wins the queen. Long castle was dubious move here because of queen e2. Protect and also attack this pawn here. After king b7, knight b3. And knight a5 is coming. These pawns are fall down here. What about rook d5? Rook d5, what happens? Knight c4, no, knight c1 or what? I don't see the immediate punishment here. Forget about rook d5 move. But okay. Instead, Geller plays bishop d6. He definitely wants to play knight e7 and make castle. Knight d6, strong move. A little surprise, he said. And he loves opening of h file, which from first sight looks dangerous for white, but this bishop is more important. Yeah, knight c6 was obviously bad because of h5 here. Knight g6, queen g6 here. And he says that Geller was thinking about this move about around half an hour, and he already did not look like a satisfied, glad person. He declined to play hg because knight e4, attacking here, attacking here. And after queen h4, knight d6, check cd, then queen d6. Cannot take because rook e1, and white is winning. White he played queen g6, avoiding this tempo. Rook e1, check, king goes to f8. And this is a set necessity because knight e7, bad duo of knight c4. Now we cannot cut. We take this bishop and then we take this knight. And in case of long castle, queen a4. If this pawn would be on b7, black is okay. But now, unfortunately, it's too much weakness. King f8. Then Fischer was funny, yeah. And knight c4, attacking this bishop. h5 he played. Black still is trying to do something on knight, but it's too late. Knight takes on d6, dt. More chances for survival was after queen d6, he said, but obviously black position looks extremely bad. We can, I guess, even go to endgame and bishop f4 or maybe something else. Yeah, and knight d6, dd. And after cd, he played bishop f4 with tempo. And now Geller played move which immediately loses the game. After the game, Mikhail Tal was trying to prove that black still could hold position after rook d8 in case of queen e2, hg. But still, after hg, black is in flank. Knight cannot move because queen e7. Queen cannot move anyway. Rook d1 is coming here. And queen h7 with the mate, it leads to control mate. Check and then queen e8. Probably queen f6 would be the only option here. Attacking the bishop, but then what we play here? Probably queen e3. With the bishop g5. h4 again, bishop. What about rook h4? Attacking here. He probably wanted to play f3 here. What we do next? f5. Maybe f5 is the best move. Directly. Guess he missed this move. With a good chances to survive maybe. So attacking this pawn here. Andrei with a follow. 5 was a chance, I guess. Because of e5, I have this rook h4, very annoying move, attacking bishop, and check is coming. So what was to do here? Rook d1 maybe. d5. I don't know. Also rook h4 is an option here, because bishop d6. I take rook d6 and they have this rook g4 here. I'm sure that f5 is the best move here. Just 1 second, I will just start engine for a few seconds. Yeah, f5 he says. First line. What else? I mean, there is no another move. 5. Rook d1. What about rook h4? Ah, f3 is winning here. After fg, bishop d6. Yeah, now it's winning. Instead of fg, maybe queen g4, fg. Yeah, it's very difficult position, but still holdable. Instead of f5, I mean, instead of rook d8, Keller played d5, bad move. And after d5, queen b3, strong move here. With either queen b4 and mate on e7. And now he says that Keller was thinking about ag for 40 minutes here. But also knight e7 was losing here, because after rook e7, king e7, queen b7 check, and white is winning. No moves for king. Yeah, we eliminate here. Case of knight f6, there would be queen b7 attacking this rook. Rook e8, then rook e8. We cannot take with king because of rook e1 or check and take here. So knight e8, rook e1, then the queen e7, queen f6, and queen c8. Game is over. Yes, you are right. Instead, he played hg, sacrificed he wanted to sacrifice this knight here, have some chances, but Fischer played queen b7, much stronger move. And what to do here? He played gh, bishop d3, and after rook d8, only square to go, then queen b4, merciless. After knight e7, we take to grab this rook. This was his interesting game. Another game. Let's see another game against Svetozar Grigoric from the same tournament, the famous Yugoslavian grandmaster. Larry Evans said that this game was drawn and it was played almost perfectly. Every game in the game, every move in the game, so interesting. And okay, let's see what will happen here. D4. Hey, I don't know. Abdul Ghani, hello. The lovely evening. It's not evening, it's already late night for me, 2 o'clock night. How are you doing? All in Jersey. You have to leave now. You are welcome. Okay, bye. Knight f6, e4. Grigoric also was playing e4 too. e4, knight f6, e4. d6. On high level, you have to play different. d4, d6, knight f3, castle, bishop e2, e5. So it repeats the same game as Samuel Reshevsky, which we just seen. e5, knight e7. Reshevsky played knight e1 here. Same Grigorich plays knight d7, knight d3, exactly like Reshevsky. Old continuation was in this 3, or first bishop is3, then 3 f4 and bishop f2. This bishop supports b5 later. He plays knight d3. Fine. We remember that Reshevsky take on ef here. Same does Grigorich in this position. Knight ef5. Again, he says that in this position, much more energetic move is gf. Otherwise, after knight f5, black takes this control over d4 square, and white takes control over e4 square. He was better. And after knight f5, f3, same, absolutely same copy game of like Reshevsky. Knight f6. Yeah, knight d4 he played against Reshevsky, remember. But now he plays knight f6. Close this square immediately. Knight f2 by Grigorich. Maybe Grigorich knows that game. Knight d4, knight e4, knight a5. That position is about equal. White has always c5 idea, and black has this idea, like against Reshevsky. Maybe play knight f4, then g4, g5, g4 somewhere. Yeah, bishop at g5 played, queen d7. He put queen on d7 because he wanted to protect this pawn. After queen e8, it will be immediately c5 with attacking. So he wanted to play this ugly move to protect this pawn. g3 was played, control this square. h6. And against in following rounds, Grigorich repeated this position. He played c5 against Tal. Bad move. No, after g3, Tal played c5 here. But after knight b5, attacking this pawn, knight b5, b, white achieves the advantage here. This knight is better than this, and probably later we will blow up something. This pawn. Yeah. Why after later Grigorich improved. I mean, Tal later made mistake with c5, and here, according to Fischer, he plays a correct move, h6 here. And after bishop e3, and only now e5, this position. So what is difference? Let's understand now. And somebody told him that Grigorich was considered this move as a blunder here. And in real, it was a pawn sacrifice by Fischer. He did not want to play knight e2, e5 because of c5. And white would have an excellent position here. He need to keep this knight on board, so c5 and bishop d4. In case of knight b5, this was different. He would play knight a5 with tempo, and then a6, kick out this knight back, and then knight d4. And Tal didn't have such opportunity. So that bishop d4. This Grigorich, he saw that he blundered pawn. ed. In 1961, he was 18 years old here. And look how he plays. Knight b5. Now Bishop e5 would be bad move, yeah? Try to defend because of f4. So attacking bishop, this attacked, this doesn't support. So a6, this was his idea. Oh, GM Bunny. How are you, Bunny? Christos. We have, I guess we have Christos Banikas in our chat. Yeah, thank you very much. Evharisto, Christos. Welcome, people. How are you doing? Yeah, thank you, man. Don't forget to follow Christos. He has so funny content. Usually, he drink coffee, make fun, play Blitz. Really nice time with him. I was following him a few times. Are you here, Christos? Or you just raid and left? Say something. Don't be shy. I don't see any messages from Christos. Gone already. Yeah, he's cool guy. He ordered. He played for 4 hours and he tired. I understand. Yeah. Thank you for follow, guys. Welcome. Cool. Okay, so so a6. This was the idea of Fischer when he played this h6 knight and c5 with falling pawn sacrifice, and after knight d6, d3. Look at this. This was a beautiful idea, and now Grigorich take on d3. The two double-edged position with mutual chances would lead bishop d3 here. Bishop d4 check, king h1 and knight g3. We see that ag leads to mate in 1 here, and after knight g3, queen d6, queen d2, and then bishop h3 with mutual chances here. 1 second. What if we play king g2 first? The knight g3 anyway. Oh, look at this. But king on g2, I guess. On g2 maybe even better. Knight g3. Look at this. With queen h3, king h1. It doesn't seem like any attack here. Knight g3. We cannot take h8 or g3 because what white can do here. We take with idea knight d3. Not enough. So probably only move again knight g3. d6. So the difference that when one was on h1 or on g2, where is it better? No idea where is it better. Maybe here because I'm not allowed bishop h3 and now I have queen here. Maybe this was a actually. Look at this idea, guys. So we take bishop d3 and now not obvious move king h1 because in that variation of knight g3, black will penetrate to h3. This move because in h3 I guess leads nowhere. We play king h1. We cannot take this. Not attacked. Yes, white is winning in this position. This looks like why we force anyway take on, but now situation is different. We cannot go here, so queen is attacking this. Quadraspas, hello, how are you doing? Hello. Welcome back, man. One is coming. I think white has advantage here. Clear advantage. But okay. That Grigorich check with queen. And bishop d4 check. It says this combination was requiring a very precise play. Bishop b2 would be a big mistake here because of knight c8, bishop a1, knight b6, and after bishop d4, queen d4, and then this falls. Otherwise, this on the attack and also this on the. So bishop d4. King d2. In case of king h1, again knight g3 here. Knight g3, then queen d6. King g2 and knight g3 anyway. He says that this move he should see when he played 17 move. And this is number 22. So probably c5 means. Knight c8, strong move by Grigorich according to Fischer. A best move, he said. Knight f1. We obviously could not take with pawn or with king because of mate on h3. Three backs. Thank you for following. Welcome, man. On knight c8, we eliminate this very important bishop, not allow queen h3 here. And knight f1, what else? We have to eliminate this rook. Knight b6, attacking queen, attacking the rook. And knight e3 is simply bad. We just take it and take it on. Yeah. So knight d6, queen d7. A strong move here. So both players are calculating very well this position. We cannot take on a8 because there is a mate. Check on b1 mate. The rook has to take on f1. Queen takes on b6 and b2 strong move. And this is a very important move for white here. That saves the game. And what to do now? Queen b4, this position. He says that he seen and he seen that after queen b4 it will be a draw. But he says that if he would continue to play for win, it would be also very risky. For example, after cb, c5 would be strong move. We cannot go with queen because this the attack. Queen b5 would be probably what after queen b5? I guess queen d2. Queen d2 would be a very strong move. Attack here and then we take it. So he should play bishop c5, knight c5, queen c5, queen g6 check, king h8, queen h6 check, king d8, and king h1. And white is winning here. The rook is coming. Also, he could try rook f7 here, but after b, bishop c5, rook b1, which following d6, this would lead also quite risky, complex position. So what's going on here? Yeah, instead I'm doing here 7 1 b6 b4. Yeah, he take queen b4, and after this game will a very interesting draw. Rook b1 attacking queen, queen a5. After queen a5, knight takes on c5. This bishop is attacked, this is attacked. Greg Shahade is following. Thank you, man. How are you doing, Greg? Welcome. I guess this is a real Greg Shahade in our chat. Say hello, guys. Is it you, man? Yeah, hello, man. Welcome, welcome. We are watching a very interesting game. Grigorich versus Fischer from Blade Knight 61. It's such a crazy tactics here. Both players show the masterclass. Watched your title Tuesday in months ago. Was great. Thank you very much, man. How are you doing? You also streaming or not? I used to stream, too lazy these days. Huh, I understand. Probably you found much more interesting things to do. By the way, who won, Trump or Biden finally? I stopped to follow news. It was unclear. What's going on? Why I need moderator? Biden will likely win. Ah, it still runs or what? I thought it was concluded already. Strange. Why so? If I remember well, uh, yeah, Clinton and Trump election was much faster concluded. Betting markets have it at 90%, but betting markets, I remember, was giving like 99% victory to Hillary Clinton, and she lost. I remember. You never trust till the end. Who is this person? Toddle my shrimp. What are you doing, man? Don't act like little kid. Stop it, please. Go and do it in another place. I hope he will start to act adequate. Just leave the chat. I don't want to ban him. Like. Toddle my shrimp. Please stop it. Are you drunk? This guy is just drunk, definitely. Okay, just don't pay attention. Let him write whatever he wants. Who cares? Okay, so queen a5, knight e5. Yeah. Okay, so rook b7, then rook f7 would be the move here. And black somehow is controlling. Toddle, don't insult anyone. Write whatever you want, but don't insult anyone in this chat. Or I will need to just ban you now. I mean, I need to go to my chat and just ban you. I don't want to do it. Last warning. So knight c5 was played. Queen c5. Only move, yeah, because bishop attacked. Also, knight can come in. Bishop, it's only black is risking here. Rook attacked, this attacked, also this attacked. And why he take on e5, queen g6, bishop g7 only move, rook b7. We see that such a big clash of titans here. Both players are equally strong in calculations. Queen d4, only move. He says that Grigory was so much sure that he will find it that write this move in advance on his score sheet. And so bishop d3 with idea mate, but fortunately for white, there is rook f4 only move and enough. The point that rook f6 not possible. And 3d square here. After queen e6 check, 8, queen g6, they agreed to draw. What a game. Because of king f8, there would be queen e7 check. Yeah. Okay, Greg, thank you very much, man. Have a nice time. Thank you for follow. Okay. After these words, I'm sorry, but a little bit fed up with this guy. I gave you chance, but he's just drunk. That's why I didn't want it. Ban him, but he's too much now. becoming too much, really. Okay, I think I did it. I'm not sure, but fortunately it happens what to do. 2.22 у меня его. 2.20. Thank you, Cass, for giving gifting gaming on table PC. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Game against Tal. Yeah, before that he never could manage to win against Tal. This was his first victory. The same tournament in Bled. But Tal became winner of this tournament. And Tal made mistake in this game on 6th move, and after that Fischer never let him go out. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight goes to 6, d4, cd, knight e4, e6. Remember in one crazy game when I played Najdorf against him. Now he plays knight 6, e6, knight e3 by Fischer. And he says that there is no doubt that Tal was preparing against knight b5, which this move he used in 1960 in Buenos Aires tournament all the time. And even now he says it, even now I consider this is the best move here. But knight c3 he played to avoid preparation, queen c7 and g3. This is quite reasonable move, he said. And Botvinnik calls it a tricky and well hidden idea. and Tal is get trapped in the he falls in trap, which Fischer was not going to trap actually. He said, "Let it go. Thank you for following." Knight f6, bad move by Tal here, and he says that it's might be a losing move here already. Once Tal played knight f6, he immediately started nervous here. And a6 was a correct move, bishop g2, and then knight f6, castle, and complex game. That he played knight f6, knight db5. This was the idea. Queen b8 played. And he said after knight b5, it was funny that Bisgayer, who was also in bled, and he was following this game, he forget about this idea 2 years later against Benko in San Antonio. So queen b8, forget, or maybe he thought maybe Benko prepared something. Queen a5 is bad move because of bishop d2 with either knight d5, and in case of queen d8, then bishop f4 here. Knight 7 is a threat, e5, bishop g5, and black has terrible position. Knight d5 threat, knight d6, bishop f6. Why he plays queen b8 only? Bishop goes to f4, attacking here. Knight d6, e5. And Tal was thinking long time against about this move, which looks very risky. But e5 leads to very clear advantage of white after b5, a6 here. And after a6, bishop f6. Because not knight f3, b5, bishop, because of not gf, but b4. Again, both knights and complicated situation. That's why bishop f6 here. Now gf would be bad move because of knight a3, b5, then knight d5. This was his idea. And in case of ab, bishop d5 here. And white has a big advantage here. Pawn under attack, if b4, then knight d5. This square. It's like bet Sveshnikov. That's why Tal was considering long time these variations. He didn't like them and played knight e5, which also very risky. And now plays bishop e2, very strong move because queen d4 directly will be fork. That maybe Tal underestimated this move here. His idea queen d4. And he played now bishop c5, and in case of a6, black was losing at least a pawn. After queen d4 attacking this knight. In case of ab, we take and take here. d6 will be the option. Rook d1, very unpleasant attack. ab and bishop e5. We cannot take duel of mate. This attacked, also this attacked. I also bet for black to play d6 here. Because after d6, queen d4, a6 is just transpose, and in case of knight 6 here, knight d6 move. I'll suggested queen d6, beautiful move. And after bishop d6, and then we win this queen. That's why after, yeah, also knight d6 here, king d7 move, then bishop b5, pinning this knight. And after bishop d6, long castle is completely winning position because this is double pin here. No way to defend it. Yes, Fatih, both of course. That's why after bishop e2, I'll place logical move bishop c5, control this square, not allow queen d4 here. And after that, bishop e5. This was the Tal side, another idea. Thank you for following. Queen e5 and f4. Kick away this queen. e8 and e5. Look at this. Yeah, amazing geometry. Yeah, white does not give black any possibility to breathe normally. Yeah, he never had chance to play this a6, kick out this point knight. Now Fischer says that I played very quickly a6 here because knight g8 was just hopeless. Due of knight e4, take control over this square. Bishop e7, then queen d2, long castle, and game is quickly over. So a6 only move, ef, ab, and now this pawn falls. Paul Keres was considering knight e4 even stronger. Take away this bishop here, and then queen d4, attacking this pawn. But he says that he, in this position, before this game, he had a score against Stahl -4. So 4 lost and 2 draws, 1-5. That's why he wanted to have pawn up here. Rook g8, knight e4, attacking the bishop, and also this move. Only move bishop e7, queen d4, protecting. Also knight f6 is coming. Rook a4, attacking this queen. A desperate try here. And more chances for black would be guessed by Botvinnik. 7 move. Okay, rook a with such a bishop and such a pawns, you cannot survive long. a4, knight f check, bishop e6. Because of king d8, of course not yet because before, and still knight e7 is winning. Give check first. Only move bishop f queen f6. This is a difference. White has pawn positional advantage. Bishop much better. Hopeless position. Queen 7 and long castle strong move. Not bishop b5 because of check and take this bishop. And in case of bishop h5 would be d5, protect this pawn. But long castle. Rook a2, b1. One. Rook a6 played. White was winning very quick in case of rook a5, he said. After bishop h5, e5, and rook d5, d, then rook e1, and game is over, yes? Penetrate to e7. Also, queen a5 was bad move. Without the rook e1, simply b3. Not allow any check, and bishop h5 is impossible to defend with bishop on c8. Yeah. Terrible. That's why after king b1, I'll place rook a6. After rook a6, he plays bishop b5 move here. He says that he was so excited to win material that he completely missed a decisive position, bishop h5 here. e6, because after d5, again this same motive, rook d5 here, ed, rook e1. So only move would be bishop 6, and we take on e6, take here, d7, and mate here. And after d6, only move, he would continue rook he1 with idea rook e6, forcing queen only move. 7, queen h6 with idea queen h7 here. e7, queen h7, game will over very quick. I guess after that we can blow here. Not necessary. Queen d3 or f5. But instead, collecting material here. e5, rook b6, bishop d3. Like in also. Thank you for following. And e5 was played here. A best chance. After queen d8 was possible to play queen h6. Thank you guys. Follow. And after f5 we play queen h5 check, king7, and then g4. With decisive attack we open every files and hooks are penetrated. Thank you. Why after d3 e5 was played, and fe, brilliant sacrifice. Look at this, guys. Black was hoping for queen e5, f3, rook g7, which still looks disastrous, but some chances for draw still here. He says that when you play against extra class opponents, you have to learn to convert your very precisely. So fe for move, rook f e f. How's the idea? Yet this bishop never moved from this square. Queen goes to e5 here. Only move. After queen b6 would be simply rook f1, protecting this pawn, and then we take. So queen c5. What is idea behind this move? Maybe he wants to play something. Thank you for follow. Bishop h7. Queen goes to g5. He wants to sacrifice. Understood? We see how Tal devilishly tries only chances, even completely lost position. Bishop g8, queen f6. We always found some chances, little tricks. Rook a1, f1, but objectively lost positions. Cannot survive. Check on f7, d8. Yeah, so black avoided immediate loss, but endgame still hopeless. So bishop e6, queen h6. After king d7, bishop f5 would be the move. Start to push this pawn or just double rooks and win this pawn. And after queen h6, attacking bishop and attacking the pawn, he simply take on d7, put on f queen h2, rook 1 this goes to d8, give check, another check, more check. These checks, statistic play by Fischer here, and rook d1. He says that he just win time, but come on, we understand that he was just enjoying process to win probably. b5, rook b7. Yes. After that mistake, at f6 he never recovered, right? h5. It's like in box when you miss a huge punch, get in knockdown, and then your opponent never let you go out from it. So g4 covered this diagonal with tempo. Queen h3 was played. Because of queen g4 would be immediately win. Rook h1 with idea mate, queen g4, then anyway check on b8 and take this rook, not rook, the queen. So he need to control this this file with queen h3, d5, poor this position, queen f3, check, king goes. Wait, why he continue play this? I mean, I would resign long time ago. Just suffering for no reason. It's absolutely theoretical, no chances to miss this game. Rook b5, look at this. How you can not to win? g7, rook b6, queen g3, rook d1, queen 7, rook 1, e6 was played. So the threat is to give check, then give check on h6, another check, and we win this queen from this. So he played queen c8, b3, what a move. And after rook a6, finally I'll resign. There's no defense again. d7 will be made. Good game. Yes, I'm searching which game to show. Don't hurry, guys. Okay, let's see how he win this Sicilian Neither system. Right? I don't have any idea how to write the opponent name in English. So we need your support probably. 1896. Ok. White against Olbuchan. Chan, like Olbuchan. Julio. This we need. Let's go. E4, 5, knight f3, go to knight of, stop here. H3, usually I like to play bishop c4, H3. Now it is also interesting, quite popular continuation. These moves are against e5, theoretically. And the idea to play knight d2, and in case of bishop e6, then g4 here. e5, then ed. And knight d5, bishop g2. With some edge for white because they're forcing the take, knight b3, very unpleasant pressure. And in case of bishop e7, g4 is the plan. Castle, knight g3, try to penetrate. Also g5, h4, g6, g5, knight e8, then h4 here. Put knight f6 would be the bad move in this position because of bishop c4 check, 7, h5, fg, hg, hg, and h5. Look at this punishment, immediate win. This is like an example. So knight c6 was played in this position. There was continuations like e6 here, of course, g6 and b5. But knight c6 he played. G4, knight takes on e4, 4, and e5. e3, bishop e7. Much more precise was immediately bishop e6. After g5, knight d7, and not close this bishop. Bishop e7, g5, immediately he used knight d7, this position. He didn't play knight h5 because after h4 always was bishop e2, very unpleasant. That's why bishop e7 inaccuracy. Bishop e6, knight d7, much more harmonious development. Knight d7, now bishop closed. Bishop e3 to control this square. This was much more sharper, he said. Knight c5, queen f3. Control these squares and bishop e3, long castle, and so on. But he played bishop e3. And now Olbuchan played bad move, knight c5 here. The best continuation for black would be accept this challenge And after take on g5, queen d6, queen e7, obviously, otherwise we cannot castle. Then we take on e7, king7, at e5, king f8, and long castle. This was his idea. Then this was suggested by Kotov. Olbachan probably best continue. I think this still white has advantage. h4 and bishop. So knight c5 was played. Queen d2. He don't take on c5 because he need to exchange queens. Duel bishop g5. Queen d2 protect. Bishop e6. Long castle. Castle. f3. Protecting pawn and always have knight d5 in feet. d1, knight d5, h4. White has a good position. Rook d8, king b1 he plays. This is a important prophylaxis move, protecting this, always avoiding this kind of threats. Also, where in future no check here. Very nice move. Yeah, because in future it could be b5, b4, and then some checks, b3 or b3 and knight b3. So king's place should be here. After king b1, he played knight d7 because he didn't find what to do here. There's not plan because b5 leads to h4, b4, d5, knight d7. Maybe he wanted to play something like that. Yeah, he says that on c5 it doesn't have any features. That's why he wants to make this plan. h4 by Fischer. Fischer has to do something. Right? b5 and bishop h3. Now Kolbachan take on because knight b6 would be bad move. Duel of bishop b6, b6, and using this pin here, knight d5. After bishop d5, we can take. After queen d8, we take on e7 and just win the pawn here. Or in case of rook e8 here, d5, bishop f8, h5 with a huge pressure. While light squares are black, hopelessly delay with counter attack on. Usually the pawn has to be here. b3 moves. That he played bishop h3, but now he gives position of d5 square. Rook h3. Knight b6 he played. After bishop b6, queen b6, position is hopeless, of course. Knight d5. Strategically, white's position is winning. His knight dominates on d5. Yeah, I would never play like that with black. It's better. What is this? What he did? I mean, like that. It was much better to even give pawn after without pawn. This. You understand? This was a terrible decision. First, this game, this position. Rook e8 was much better move. Any move. What the hell is this? How can go for such position? Right. Incredible. And leave with this. Queen d8 was played. f4 by Fischer with a threat of f5 with completely winning position. Yeah, for such a knight, usually white sacrifice a pawn and still have better position. You can give this a4 pawn, for example. And yeah, somebody was commenting that this f4 was a fantastic intuition by Fischer. Because he declines to go to rook endgame with pawn up or attack. But the point, truth was that he cannot go to rook endgame because after rook d8 he loses immediately. f4. you must never consider such option to take to change this knight to this thing on e7. I cannot call it bishop. I don't know what is it. Not pawn, not bishop. Some mutant. Mutant on e7. How can you change it for this silly pawn? Of course not. f4. Yeah. Mutant. It's a big pawn. So ef on 4. Queen d7. The idea of white is to play rook g3, h5, and push these pawns forward. Queen d7 attacking first threat in the game. Queen f5. Rook d8. This is not even offering to exchange because you cannot do of knight e7. So rook d8. Yeah, another rook d8 was simply mistake because of fork. Yeah, so rook c d8 and rook a3 strong move. Or suddenly he was attacking. Instead, he used these pawns to completely squeeze the possibilities of bishop. And now attacking this weakness. This move emphasizes how good is white's position. They can play on the whole board. Queen a7 and rook be strong move here. Svetozar Grigorich, thank you for following. Rook 7 is the red winning the bishop. He said that knight f6 was very tempting here because df loses immediately after gf, h8, and g5 strong. This is a mate, rook g8 and fe. Game over. Because rook goes, we give check, rook g3. But bishop f6 would be in this position. After gf, g6, queen g5, king h8, and black is still holds. Because h5 leads to queen c5, I guess. h6, rook g8. You are welcome, Svetozar. Yeah, many beautiful, but it shows that you must never be hurry in your decision. Rook c3. Go into here. Yeah, and he says that very strange. This is very strange. I totally disagree with Fischer that his objective best continuation would be knight e7, queen e7, e4. Are you kidding me? Bobby, I'm not agree. Would never take it. Never take it. Million years. Why not h5 for example? Why this move cannot be best? What is next move of black? Can you explain me? Queen cannot move. What to do in this position? g6, stupid move. Don't understand what to do here. Game should be over very quick here. h5 I like because now I have this threat. Knight f6. No, we cannot take on this knight. How you for this pawn? Are you kidding me or what? 5. I'm sure computer will not take it. Even computer likes material. Let's see. Just h5 of course. Plus 4. Rook c3. Any move. Rook c3 what he played. h5 any move of course. How Fischer write this? How he write this comment? How he made it? Incredible. No, cannot be. We see that computer not takes on e7, yeah. Yeah, so h5 I also like. What to do here after h5? I think it's the best move, h5. Yeah, there's just no move. No move, I mean, it's game over. For example, we play this move. Just plus 6, rook f3. For example, we play, I don't know in what to play. Rook c8 and knight f6, I guess. I mean, fast c. Even this may be winning. No, it's not winning immediately, but you play rook f1 maybe. Okay, this is just totally lost. But rook c3 also winning, of course. The idea is rook c7. Queen d7 was losing immediately after take and then fork. Rook d7 also was bad move because of check in this time. And after bishop f6, ef, and g6, queen g5, this is the difference. There's a mating idea. And after only move, we go here, and we have this move and giving mate. That's why he played only move g6 here. Queen g4. After queen g4, he played queen d7 here. Was queen g4 only move? The best move, I mean. Queen f3 he played. The rook c7. Gonna play rook c8 because of rook c8, and then at b6 fork. Why he played queen e6? Rook penetrates to 7. Rook d8. Rook d7 was losing because of knight f4. Queen gone. In case of rook fe8, rook f1, black can move any piece. For example, rook e8, rook a7. And now rook a8 not possible, we take and then fork. Why he played rook d8, and after rook d8, knight f4, attacking the queen. It goes to e5. We play rook d5, attacking queen here. Queen h8 and a3. h6 was played by black. For example, f6 would be better move here. 3. Look at this tricky move. Cover check idea. 7, rook d6. Can attack because of mate. After fg, h, queen e5, then rook f6 strong move, rook f8 only, and we take rook f7, check. 7 not possible, 96, and if you take, there is no mate. After bishop f8, knight e6, game is over, we cannot defend it. That we played h6 here. The h, queen h6. I have a feeling Fischer missed some much more clear winning than this. For example, bishop h4 beautifully was lost the game after knight g6, fg, then queen b3. After rook f7, rook f5. Look at this triple attack on this poor rook. Why not rook f1 by the way? A2 and rook king 8 here. It did not say about this anything. How to win? Maybe queen h3. Then rook f4. I don't know. Yeah, probably he was not analyzing carefully this position because okay, what I'm talking. Queen. No. No. There was point that after knight g6, f1 check. Of course, we give the discovery check. Forget about this discovery check and we take it. Yeah. Because king a2, f8, rook f5 is not made. We take it this. And bishop e7 or queen f6. But rook d1 is killing. Make control. We make control check here. Game over. Why Bolbuchan take on h6? h5. Bishop d5. In case of g5, white would have knight e2, beside knight g2, knight 5, or knight d4, knight. Also rook a7 all the time. Why he played bishop 5, attacking the knight hg, f d. In case of bishop f4, he would win after gf, take, and rook h5 strong. Use that queen cannot go here, do we have rook f5, otherwise we win this. Mutant, yeah. Possible. And where we are once fg, take. After a fg, queen b3, strong move. Again, same idea. We see that a3 was always useful. Okay. Bolbochan take on f4 because king h8 was losing way of, yeah, bishop f4 is rook h5 check, and we take queen. Case of king h8, knight g6 check, d6, then rook g5 we cannot take because of mate in, and after rook f1, king a2, queen 5, queen h3 with a mate. G8 with this, and this, it's check, I forget about. Okay, so where is mate? Says that this was mate. Where is mate? There's no mate. He maybe also forget about this check. Not mate, we take d6. This is on play. Okay. Means that instead of rook f4, Bolbochan has to place this actually. He should take it. She should not take it. Yeah, he should play this one because Fischer was going for. Yes, he was going for this variation. Queen g6, and he was considering that this is 8. Check. A2, b5. Yet he said this mate. Absolutely mate. White is losing here. 3, so but f6. White is losing here. So it means that queen f1 only moves in g6. And this is far away from mate. This falls. All of a sudden black has chances to survive here. Terrible. Obviously, when he was commentating this moment, he just remembered what he was thinking about during the game. So during the game, he missed his check on g8, and during the commentary, writing this book, just did not analyze it. Obviously. Okay, we don't fix moment. Bolbochan take on f4, rook e5 check, 8, rook e8, black resign. Because after king 8 they really get mate. Only move f8 and give seconds. Give this. Find game. Yeah, this looks very interesting game. I know this game, but very big fight. With white against Porchnoi. Probably I will show this game and go to sleep because it's really late. More than 3 o'clock. Popcorn. Port Correct? Or we don't need S? Maybe just simply like this. I forget how to write it. Or maybe it was Portnoy. How to write, guys? Exactly. This? Alright. I remember it was T, I guess. No. I guess it's Portnoy by English. Let me Google. Can somebody Google to make it sure? Portnoy. Okay. Google. No T, yeah? Why I remember? I don't. Why I remember? Okay. Let's go. E4. So E5. Knight F3. Knight C6. So we go to Spanish. Old classical direction. Played million times. Q. Bishop E1. E5. 3. Castle. E3. 6. Now we know that H3 not it. Wow. D4 is one of the interesting direction. This is old move. Very often played by Alokin and 8. So G4 principal direction. Yeah, I remember it was Korchnoi. Correct, I guess. But in Russia it's Korchnoi. Okay, I don't know. Let's be it Korchnoi. Bishop E3. Black attacking these two squares, so bishop E3 protecting using the knight attack. Those knights attacked. ED was played. Probably the best is a Grigorich idea here. E5 he said. And there was also old knight E4, D5, queen at D7 here. E5 with idea bishop E4 and bishop H7 D possible, and white holding the pawn. But yeah, played ED